Hey, are you alright? Don't fall asleep until we reach our destination. Are you listening?
Are you listening?
You weren't paying attention? Well, I guess I can see how you... Anyway, we need to talk about how to get out of this situation.
Futaba's monitoring of Akechi's phone has confirmed it. He did indeed have an ulterior motive.
It's on a completely different level than just that.
Not only was he trying to frame us, but he was the true culprit behind the mental shutdowns. His offer to assist us was simply a ploy to frame the Phantom Thieves and kill him. If we go into Sis's palace as he suggests, we'll likely be met by a large ambush of police forces.
To think he would be this far gone. I know now what it means. Furthermore, he wishes to bring a police squad from reality into the palace.
If the 8 of us can enter at once, it's not inconceivable to think a larger group is possible. He may even be able to bring in vehicles or other special pieces of equipment.
So, this really was just a setup to shift the blame onto us.
He made us go after Okumura. Then once we triggered the change of heart, he killed him.
And he told us he had seen the true culprit, but it was him the entire time!
The whole time he was working with Makoto's sister, he was really just some homicidal maniac. Come on, we gotta take that bastard Akechi down. Isn't that recording we got enough proof to do it?
No. Akechi is merely a tool. His orders come from elsewhere. An unimaginable fiend capable of arranging the murder of a suspect inside of a police station.
Unless we find out who that is, we will continue being targeted.
But what means do we have of learning?
We'll have to make Akechi say it. Though once we do, that mastermind will...
I think that will be the case eventually, regardless of whether or not we learn his identity. The only reason it hasn't happened yet is because we're an easy target to blame for his crimes. If he realizes that's no longer possible and abandons that plan, he may opt to kill us immediately.
Damn it! So we don't got a choice but to go with that bastard's suggestion.
But if we go into the palace like we're told, he'll get arrested, and then Akechi will kill him.
Palace. The palace. Actually, there's something I'd like to say regarding...
Aha! We can use the palace to our advantage!
What's this all of a sudden?
There's a way. A way to get past Akechi and get the mastermind to lay off of us, all while learning his identity.
Really?
You gotta be kidding me!
If he wants to kill the guy, why not let him? That is, inside of a palace.
Yes, we could have him kill the cognitive version, all the while believing he killed the real one.
Yeah, that's...
It seems that's our only option. Listen close, everyone. I have a plan for how we can carry this operation out.
Ever since the death of their teenage leader, the Phantom Thieves have fallen silent. However, the police intend on continuing this investigation until the...
I'm sorry I'm late. I had to finish a few things at work. Where are they?
Waiting upstairs. Go tell them to come on down. I'm gonna fetch him.
You're... her sister, correct?
Makoto told me everything. Futaba-chan, I'm sorry that I caused you so much trouble this past summer.
It's ancient history.
Man, that goddamn detective.
Look who's here.
Hey, you big bastard!
How have you been? You're not floating.
It truly is a relief to see your face.
I bet that moron Akechi don't even know we tricked him yet.
Still, how'd you pull this off? Isn't this guy considered dead?
You weren't told anything? I heard my sister brought him here, though.
Yeah, she came over in a taxi, dumped him off, and told me to keep him safe. It was right after they announced he had died, too. Almost gave me a heart attack.
I didn't have time to explain.
Hey, shouldn't we tell boss what really happened?
We wanted to make our enemy believe the leader of the Phantom Thieves was dead.
What?
What we did was make that enemy kill his fake in the metaverse.
Hold on a sec. Enemy? Fake?
The true culprit behind all these incidents set us up. Our goal here was to determine their identity.
True culprit? I see. So you guys were going up against someone else.
It was Goro Akechi. You knew beforehand that he was the traitor, didn't you?
Akechi himself gave us the chance to strike back. He made one fatal mistake.
Couldn't you have just said from the beginning that Akechi...
That wasn't something we could simply bring up. We couldn't have you suspect Akechi. Besides, neither you nor the other investigators would have believed something like that.
True. Akechi was credited with the arrest of the Phantom Thieves. Not even I would think he was the culprit. In other words, you left him alone on purpose. That was a bold move.
God, I can't keep up with any of this stuff. So what was this mistake Akechi made? What did he do?
He slipped up in regards to Morgana's voice.
You mean a cat?
Yes, Morgana can talk.
Sorry, was that supposed to be a joke?
Oh, our apologies. That's completely true. You surprised?
Does that mean he said something just now as well?
But you don't understand him, do you? That's how it was for all of us at first, too.
When you're in the metaverse, Mona talks like a normal person. Once you hear that and your brain realizes he can actually talk, you start to understand him in reality. It's a change in cognition, most likely.
Thanks to Akechi's lame acting, we figured out something was up.
When we talked to Akechi at the school festival, he was acting like he just realized Mona could talk. But we already saw him drop a mega hint about it way earlier.
Oh, I know a place! I want to go to that huge pancake-looking place we passed on the way here!
Oh, am I mistaken? I thought I heard something about delicious pancakes.
Mona was the only one who was talking about a pancake. That meant Akechi'd already been in the metaverse by then.
And since he was lying to us about that, we assumed he had a hidden motive behind contacting us.
It seemed odd upon further thought. His reaction to my pancake comment was an honest one, after all. He did approach us when we found ourselves in the worst trouble yet. That's why we asked Futaba-chan to wiretap his phone. I pretended to be interested in checking the phone out, but I was actually planting my ad. My heart was pounding while I was doing it, though.
Even that ace detective could never have imagined a program being installed. Futaba's quirky nature proved to be a great help.
That was just an act! After a few days of listening, this confirmed his betrayal.
Then I'll guide the police into her palace and have them catch the Phantom Thieves in the act. That would be the only way to arrest them, given their methods. I'll deal with them after that. Let me see. We could say he stole the guard's gun and committed suicide during his imprisonment. How about that? Public security questioning will occur on the first day. And with that room, my task will be simple.
Is this for real?
Yes, the guard will be one of ours. We'll have to eliminate him after to destroy the evidence, though.
So they planned to get rid of that guard from the beginning.
Well then, I will make the arrangements the day after the arrest, and thus the dangerous criminal responsible for the mass. When he does, you will become a great hero who saved Japan from evil.
I knew he was acting strangely, but to think he was this far gone.
He's no ace detective. Akechi is the perpetrator behind the mental shutdown crimes.
On top of that, there's someone else commanding Akechi. Someone with great authority. That's why we had to make a move before they did.
I see.
We baited Akechi into Sis's palace, making him dispose of our leader's fake, but think he killed him.
Can you elaborate on that in more detail? What exactly happened in my cognitive world?
We're sorry for using you without your permission. Your palace had all the conditions we needed.
What conditions?
First, we required a place inside the cognitive world that was the same as in reality.
That place is based on the real world after all. Anywhere that's not warped looks just like normal.
That's why nobody but the person who uses the nav even realizes they're in the metaverse.
Back with Kamoshida, we came in from the station without even noticing. You totally can't tell the difference if there ain't any distortions around.
We had already investigated Nijima-san's palace when Makoto brought the suggestion to us.
I was seriously impressed by that suggestion. To be honest, I didn't quite understand it, but I went along with it. Yeah, it's good we have her heading up our operations.
Makoto is normally so calm as well, but once her mind is set, she gets oddly impulsive.
I did have a bit of a rivalry forming with Akechi, but I just couldn't contain myself anymore once you became a target, sis. The reason I joined the Phantom Thieves was to heal your heart, after all.
My own achievements were all that mattered to me. I was desperate. I wasn't myself at all. I'm sorry I couldn't see that.
That goes for the both of us.
We heard from Mako-chan that you were going to do the interrogation, Nijima-san.
And regarding its location, I take it you used the data from my laptop?
I'm sorry.
Go on.
There were two things we were able to confirm while we were checking the metaverse. First, our clothes didn't change when we were down in the interrogation room. Second, the scenery and details outside of the palace proper were the same as in the real world.
Once we heard that from Makoto, we secretly went to check it out without Akechi knowing.
There was also one more thing we absolutely needed to make this work. A perfect cognitive replica of him in the metaverse's interrogation room.
Since he had yet to be caught, though, there obviously wouldn't be anyone in that room.
Once we saw the casino guests and police officers, we were convinced this would work. They looked no different from actual living people.
After that, we just had to work our way into the palace like usual, while keeping Akechi in the dark.
Everything went as planned up until we defeated Sis's shadow. However, it was then that we were met with a terrifying, unexpected police ambush. As a result, even though we managed to grab the treasure, we couldn't get it out of the metaverse. Except that was all an act. We had prepared an empty briefcase beforehand, and merely acted like we were taking the treasure. This was because we knew the police would be coming for us.
We made sure before the operation that the police would be waiting to ambush us. And just as expected, he totally took the bait.
Him getting captured by the police went exactly how we planned it.
And I had been interrogating him with no knowledge of this. But how did you lure Akechi into this cognitive world's interrogation room?
All I needed were the coordinates.
Akechi disposed of the fake in the palace and left thinking he had been victorious. It must have been truly hilarious for our leader who sat idly in the real world's interrogation room. Surely he was acting quite cocky by himself in that quiet chamber.
So that's why you gave me your phone. I only took it because of what you told me.
It's a shame I didn't have the opportunity to see that for myself.
All I could do was try to handle all the messages that started coming to me on his phone. Huh. So in other words, I've been to the metaverse, albeit for a brief moment.
In our experience, there is little danger when someone enters their own palace for so short a time.
That's the other reason we had him give it to you. We needed you to listen to Alibaba, deceive the guard, and ultimately aid in his escape. By having you head back to the interrogation room, we could return you to the real world as well.
I mean, I had to think of some way to keep you from running into Akechi mid-assassination.
Huh. Astounding. I hadn't the slightest idea that such a grand operation was taking place within me.
I'm so glad he was able to persuade you during the interrogation. Even though we knew Akechi's plan, we were pretty worried about that part.
Why is that?
Without Sis on our side, Futaba's plan and subsequent breakout would have never been possible. That persuasion was easily our greatest gamble. We couldn't consult Sis beforehand. It was absolutely the make or break moment of the entire plan.
Still, I'm surprised you could convince me in such a short time. Were you confident you could do it? Understandable. Either way, I can't believe you went for such a risky idea.
If we could just tell you the true culprit's plan, I knew you'd realize the bigger picture. Realize that our leader was telling the truth, and that there was a greater evil to pursue.
As a result, we emerged victorious.
Then the reason you kept this a secret from me was so you could catch the true culprit,
Yes. Plus, you had lost control of yourself at the time.
This is stunning. All I can really do is laugh.
I've kind of figured out that you guys made Akechi kill a fake. But what did you do about the body?
The police never even checked it.
Huh?
They had a coroner working to ensure his death was reported as a suicide. That coroner didn't take one look at the scene and just passed along a falsified death certificate.
The bad guys have that much influence?
Murder in a police station would be reckless otherwise. We also knew of a possible conspiracy.
Thanks to Futaba-chan's messages and the guard's demeanor, I eventually came to understand. And since the higher-ups at the police knew nothing of this, they were thrown into disarray. As a result, his suicide during imprisonment was reported on the news, just as Akechi planned.
And with that confusion, he was able to escape with Nijima-san's help.
I made sure nobody would check the morgue for his body, and thanks to that, nobody knows he survived.
Thinking back to the interrogation, though, I can't believe what they did to him. Callous use of violence? And if he had lost consciousness and hadn't been able to tell Sis about the phone, he would have died. I'm truly glad you made it back safe.
I almost became one of your assailants as well.
It still freaked me out when I saw the suicide on the news, though.
We made sure to live normal lives while he was being interrogated to avoid drawing any suspicion. Even with that, I couldn't help but worry for him in my heart.
Well, I knew right away that her plan worked out.
I wanted to believe, but considering what we were up against...
Ryuji's a bit on the dense and carefree side.
Can it?
I had to be patient and avoid this place until things settled down. I finally feel relieved.
We knew he was alive, but it was difficult to not worry until we could confirm it in person.
Now that I think about it, my interrogation was just a formality for the head commander. What a joke, letting me interrogate someone who was meant to die. They just wanted to avoid backlash. Very well. From here forward, I will do my utmost to assist you. You saved me, after all.
That's reassuring to hear.
I'll do whatever I can to help too. Just let me know. Let's take a break for now, though. This old brain is pooped. Oh, and feel free to use the first floor when you guys want to get together to talk. You'll need a hideout where you can be safe. Just say...
Are you sure?
This guy can't leave. Plus, you won't make much progress if people can hear you from downstairs. It's not like this place is the liveliest joint in town.
Let us accept his offer. What a great man.
It's me.
Enter.
That's the death certificate of the principal offender, correct? Is there a problem with it?
No, not more importantly. You've done well.
The cause of death for the SIU director has been settled as a stroke.
I had him work quite substantially on forging. His loss should be more.
It was thanks to his efforts that I could enter the Phantom Thieves' interrogation room, too.
The SIU is in disarray with his death. I'll take my time choosing a successor after the elections.
At any rate, I'm now praised as a hero, and I owe it all to the Phantom Thief.
All possible hindrances are now gone. There's no doubt that this election is mine.
And on to our next story. The snap discussion is swirling around potential nominees. Candidates will announce on the 23rd of this month, while voting will be held on the 18th of next.
Elections, huh? Don't matter to us.
Why don't we resume our conversation?
Well, the Phantom Thieves are back together. We can finally take it to a...
Have you figured out who's behind?
Akechi accidentally let that slip after he said, Shido-san.
Shido?
He is unmistakably a man of power.
Shido? Could it be Masayoshi Shido?
Who? I believe he's a politician. Remember Ryuji? You said his speech was too loud.
For real?
It's certainly possible that Shido is the mastermind.
Huh?
Do you have some kind of evidence?
Nothing material. However, there are various conditions. First, he would profit from damage done to the current administration by the psychotic breakdown. He's maintained a negative stance toward the Phantom Thieves and has gained tremendous popularity. On top of that, he'll most likely become the next Prime Minister if he...
No!
Did he set us up with that election in...
If he is behind all this, that would be in stark opposition to his honest public image.
So his current position and popularity is just him benefiting from the mental collapses.
We'll make him have a change of heart. Mom.
Shido, huh?
What is the matter?
I had a feeling he was wrapped up in all this, just based on the connections I had from my previous job. I think the one who crushed Wakaba's research and confiscated her materials was probably Shido. From the moment Wakaba died, I had a hunch he was involved, but there wasn't anything I could do. So
Why didn't you say that sooner?
you guys would have definitely gone after him if I had. He would have just killed all of you, no doubt. That's what he usually does to people who get in his way.
Originally, I was looking into the mental shutdown cases. It was then that I accidentally stumbled upon government research regarding the psychotic breakdowns. So I tracked down the whereabouts of that research data and met with the associated parties. Boss was one of those parties. I would never have imagined all of this was connected. The mental shutdowns, psychotic breakdowns, Shido, and even the Phantom Thieves' actions.
Way back when, Shido kept saying he was going to be Prime Minister one day.
What's going to happen to this country if Shido becomes Prime Minister?
The issue is simpler than that. This is nothing more than yet another selfish adult trying to impose his will on the public.
We gotta expose that rotten bastard!
Yeah, we'll do it like always. Then let's check the nav.
Masayoshi Shido, the guy running for Prime Minister.
Result found.
Got a hit! Well, duh. It ain't a surprise he has one.
Where would the location...
What kind of things go through a politician's head?
I always think of dirty money and shady actions.
What does he do? And where? We don't got a clue about...
His palace must be somewhere that politicians frequent. Any ideas?
We got a hit!
How arrogant must he be to see himself as the ruler of the Diet Building?
Our next target's the big shot politician Masayoshi Shido. No need to waste time with him, we just gotta hit the head. Nobody against it?
Of course!
He will be a worthy opponent.
Let's win this Time for revenge! Then it's unanimous!
All we gotta do now is figure out what he thinks that Diet Building place is.
So that's the app that allowed me to enter the metaverse.
An old fart like me can't wrap his head around all this.
We'll have to deal with this before Election Day, December 18th. That means we need it done by the 17th.
It's best we hurry before they discover there's no body in the morgue.
Should we start tomorrow then? We can...
That reminds me, what are you gonna do about school? You can't show up if you're supposed to be dead.
Miss Kawakami said he went back home for family reasons.
That's what I told the school.
Don't let him find out you're alive then, alright? This whole thing would be for nothing.
What do you mean?
This operation had another purpose outside of escaping Akechi's clutches. Shido tried to place all the blame on the Phantom Thieves and deceive the public at the same time. He has ruined countless lives, and even made Goro Akechi, a student, assist him with assassinations. A mere change of heart is too lenient a sentence for such an abominable criminal.
We'll be making use of the police statement that the leader of the Phantom Thieves committed suicide. Our leader, who is presumed dead, will come out of hiding to deliver a grand statement. He'll say he has escaped prison, not committed suicide, and was in fact almost killed by a criminal.
Everyone's gonna flip.
You guys thought through all this stuff too?
We're intellectuals, you know.
That's why you needed such a daring trick as getting captured and appearing to be killed. What frightening teenagers.
But the true battle has only just begun. We won the first round, but we must stay on our toes.
Yeah, this ain't the time to be celebrating.
These people tried to trap and kill us. There is no end to their inhuman, conniving nature. We will need to be prepared for it.
I finally made it this far.
Back then, you earned the media's attention as a young politician. Because of that, those who wanted to preemptively deal with problems tried to tie you up in scandal.
To think I would fall for the ruse schemed by those... I recall that's when you came to me. You promoted yourself saying you had special powers. If it wasn't for the research on cognition that I dabbled in.
I made those troublesome opponents psychotic, and erased any trace of that scandal.
Who'd think that tampering with a person's heart could trigger a psychotic lapse or mental shock? And when someone like that said he'd support me, I had suspected
It's because I sympathized with your aspiring ideology. I believed that your ideals needed to be achieved for the sake of the country's future.
Well, my faith in you was precisely... I only need you using that power. It'd be troublesome if someone else uncovered how it works.
Wakaba Ishiki, was it? That researcher. She wouldn't have had to die if she just complied.
Any suspicions should be snubbed out. Even the smallest doubt must be severed at the root. After all, we had an active public prosecutor's office director on our side, until recently.
Astounding, isn't it? To think the director himself often... He was quite surprised when you confronted him about it. Well, I got that out of his shadow, so technically speaking, he did it himself.
This country's affairs have become stagnant. The political world is filled with old men who only act to preserve their own vested interests. The general public has forsaken such political affairs and don't even bother. Only ruin awaits us.
I must agree.
There's no need to be ruined along with such incompetent fools. Those who get in the way must be eliminated at times. That's the correct way to use the metaverse.
Still, it would stand out if there were continuous death, which is why I made them suspects. Prosecute the targets that I turn psychotic, and solve them as cases unrelated to you. And thus, the charismatic ace detective was born.
Thanks to your efforts, my clean image remains untarnished, and I've monopolized public opinion. Once I gained public sentiment, collaborators from all sectors, the police were no exception, with their management in my pocket, keeping...
When the Phantom Thieves emerged, I thought things...
And they were just brats once we looked into it. All we needed to do was lay the blame on them.
When you told me that, I knew then that you were the best.
Their popularity was a bit beyond my expectations. After that, all I had to do was openly berate them. The current administration is dead with ongoing scandal. Even the government parties have begun splitting up, and they're dissolving just as planned. The time has finally come. However, inauguration isn't my goal. That's when everything truly begins. I'll make this country rich for the sake of its selfish and ignorant masses who can only rely on others.
In other words, you're creating a powerful country that can compete with the world.
The public resonates with my ideals and follows me. And for that, some sacrifices can't be avoided. That is my duty as the chosen one. Your assistance has been very influential in making my plans proceed smoothly. When I become Prime Minister, I'll grant whatever wish you want.
With this most recent case, my name has become known across the country. Surely my story will be passed down as a hero who won against monsters that could control people's hearts. I believe I'll lay low and devote myself to my studies.
I suppose with your age...
I am thinking about the future, though.
Well, how do I put this?
Well then.
So... Well, how do I put this?
Been searching all along, confessing while alone, without a sign.
Sorry.
The real question to be asked, where have I?
Remember how I hijacked your phone during the school trip? That kinda came in handy. Well, remember how I put that wiretap app in Akechi's phone? Basically, that let me see GPS info for two phones, yours and his. I'd be able to tell the precise moment Sai Nijima, who had your phone, ran into Akechi. That's when I saw my chance, and beep, sent the signal to activate the Metaverse Navigator. But there was a chance they'd just pass each other without saying a single word. That's why we needed you to tell Sai Nijima to show the phone to Akechi.
This plan still surprises me no matter how many times I hear it.
Still, I couldn't just directly hack into the metaverse nav. It's a mysterious app after all. But you know how it has that bookmark function? All you have to do is push the button. Making the phone think he was pushing that button was totally doable. Pretty good.
Moments of calm.
It may not have looked like it, but everyone else was risking their lives too. Though there's no doubt you were the most at risk. But it seems like all the drugs and stuff made you forget the details of the plan. Want me to explain how it all went down? It might take a bit.
Reflection that's a
Well, since the rest of us didn't get captured, we had to act. We had to pretend we never wanted you to get arrested. Pretend the suicide news was a real shock. Basically, we had to act like we didn't know anything, 24/7. The enemy knows who we are, so we couldn't let our guard down even once while you were gone. If they had people watching us and realized what our plan was, they would have killed you immediately. Want to hear more? Another tough part was figuring out how to get Sai Nijima and Akechi back from the metaverse. In order to return to reality, you have to go back to the point where you came into the metaverse. So, Sai and Akechi had to go through where the nav was activated, as in, the hall where they met. Akechi would just come back the same way after the assassination. The real issue was Sai Nijima. We needed to stop her for a moment before she headed back toward the interrogation room, but nothing can be sent to a phone inside a palace. So, I had to program the messages in beforehand.
I can't tell you how to see me.
In doing so, I made it seem like the messages were coming at that exact moment in time.
Nothing inside.
That part was kinda last minute, so I had to pull an all-nighter trying to get it set up. I'm really on a roll here. Wanna hear some more?
Is there
Let me see. Another problematic thing was... Oh yeah, tying Akechi up. That was really tough. I obviously don't mean the real Akechi. Even if we could do that, it would ruin our plan. The one we had to tie up was Sai Nijima's cognitive Akechi. This part's really complicated. I know you're tired. You sure you want to hear all of this? Well, we needed to lure Akechi into Sai Nijima's palace and have him kill the cognitive version. But Akechi would have entered the palace immediately after meeting Sai Nijima in the hallway, right? Because of that, there was a pretty decent chance he'd run into the cognitive Akechi. And if that happened, Akechi would have totally realized we'd lured him into the palace. Nobody actually even thought of this possibility until the night before the assassination. Makoto realized in the middle of the night. Then it was a huge mess trying to figure out what to do. In the end, we chose to sneak into the metaverse while the plan was happening to tie up the cognition. Because you told Sae to show him the phone, we expected her to chat with him for at least a bit. So, we had a few minutes to strike after the cognitive Akechi showed up, but before the nav activated. It was Operation Tie Him Up! Though it wasn't really much of an operation in the end. Thankfully, Sai Nijima didn't know his true nature, so the one that appeared was an ordinary kid.
without grasping at the real
It was pretty simple surrounding him, knocking him out, and tossing him on another floor. But man, watching Makoto's skill was super amazing. I guess she does use Knuckles as her weapon. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, appreciate what everyone else did. I just can't help but rant when I'm talking about stuff that interests. Sorry about that. Just focus on resting up. You don't have to worry about anything else. And seriously, well done. Nice.
I should write something.
I'm gonna head back then.
Guess he won't be going to school for a while. Don't worry about it. This'll be a breeze. And we'll have all the time to come up with the plan. To be perfectly honest, I don't really care what happens to Shido, one way or the other. But when I consider the fact that he's your enemy, I naturally think he's my enemy as well. I'm going to stay with you until the very end. Well then, we should get to sleep. You know, Something that Futaba said before, when you were in a pinch in the palace. She picked up a reading of someone who came to your rescue. Was that... So it was Yoshizawa. Then we'd better let her know you're safe now. And I'll even lend you a hand with that.
There's no point in even having an election. Shido's go—
Of course, he's the— Plus, the current government has been getting wrapped up in Even more importantly, there's just an aura about it.
Honestly, it doesn't really matter to me who does it. Especially after it turned out those phantom thieves.
We'll show you.
Cut that out! Hey.
Okay. All right, let's head to the diet building.
You gotta be kidding me. You realize you're done for if you get caught, right? Ugh. The stunts you pull sometimes. Just don't stay out too late.
Akechi isn't here.
Let's begin at once. Police cars are making rounds, so we already have Masayoshi Shido and Diet Building. All we need is what he thinks of this place.
Maybe Mount Fuji's?
Conditions have not been met.
What about a mansion?
Since he's going to subjugate everyone as Prime Minister, Perhaps a school?
What about an arena?
Imperial Palace?
It's no good.
I thought we would have gained entry by now.
Hey, you think he's guarding his whole palace with a barrier? Shido stole the cognitive science research, right? Or maybe it had some special move written in it.
Is that even possible?
Who knows? There was nothing like that in the notes I saw.
Anyways, what kind of person is Shido?
I did some light research on him last night, but I couldn't...
That man over there is probably a legislator, right? Excuse me. I'm a member of the newspaper club at my high school. May I speak with you for a moment?
Sure.
What kind of person is Representative Shido? What's he think about the national diet?
His stance is dedication for country. It's how he's garnered everyone's trust. He's an admirable man of action, with a first-class determination. I'd say he's a model politician. I believe that he'll help create a wonderful future in which young...
An exemplary answer.
It makes sense he wouldn't tell teen...
Look over there. He's on a walkie-talkie.
Wait, is it about...
That doesn't look good.
We should leave at 1. Tomorrow's the day off, so let's have an early strategy meeting.
We should all think about this tonight.
The criminals calling themselves the However, I believe these scandals only increase our distrust of the current government. As a citizen myself, I am enraged.
Look who's talking.
What does it mean to be working toward personal gain without consideration of the country is outrageous.
The election's public notification is tomorrow. But no matter where I...
Everyone's being deceived.
In order to save this country that has been tainted by villains, social reform is essential.
Ugh. Okay.
Hey.
Searching all along, confessing while alone, without a clue, without a sign, without grasping.
Oh!
The real question to be asked: where have I
The hell is this? How the hell are the dead running about? Have you been bitten? Show me your arms. You haven't been scratched or bitten, have you?
For real?
All right.
Well then. Last one. Diamond mine.
No good.
How many do we miss? Perhaps he truly does. Right?
That's not something... We know all the way up to Diet Building, too.
So you enter keyword.
Boss, can you turn the TV on? Shido might be on it.
Sure thing.
Goro Akechi.
Him and his stupid...
So, Akechi, is it true you withdrew yourself from the media as part of your plan to capture the Phantom Thief?
I truly apologize for causing such a stir. Honestly, it required a lot of courage to openly oppose them when their popularity... I mean, people often laugh...
Then was it also your plan when you said they weren't at fault after...
That was to catch them off guard. I could say I applied my once they lost public support. Someone they thought was their greatest enemy. That's the same strategy used in...
Why is he being treated as an ace?
It's not just on TV or online.
On the other hand, no one's hoping for our comeback.
The Phantom Thieves are evil. Shido and Akechi...
They're manipulating
Leaving Akechi aside, we'll get back at him later.
Were there any instances before when you didn't know the palace keywords?
Well, there was the time.
We didn't know anything about her, so all we could do was make it...
Then why don't we just go direct?
That's impossible. He's surrounded by bodyguards and
There's no way high school students can get an appointment.
Well, we do have an adult with us.
No, that's still impossible. Besides, that's too dangerous a method.
Well, this is...
What's with the ruckus outside?
To everyone gathered before Yongin Jaya State.
Isn't that an election campaign?
Oh, right! The candidates are currently campaigning!
I apologize for the commotion. I am Masayoshi Shi...
Wait, did he just...
Yeah!
Man, talk about being lucky!
Hey, Ryuji ran off toward the station. This way. By the way, did something happen? You didn't seem well a moment ago.
Now is the time to rebuild this. Our government is littered with scandals, and criminals have taken us. Such a disgraceful past must be discarded. We must set sail into a new future of dreams and hope. So our nation can once again become a powerful one. So our beautiful home. I humbly ask that you cast your vote for me. Let us all set sail toward a happy future. Together. I hope to...
Is that the guy? You guys wait here. I'll go get intel for us.
Wait!
Hey! Yo, Shido-san!
Stand back.
I just want to talk to him for a...
He's a busy man.
The hell? Ain't he supposed to hear a citizen's comment?
That's enough, Brad.
You're that asshole we met at the hotel before, at the elevators. Oh, I'm sorry. So you can butt in front of other people if you're in a hurry?
What are you talking about?
That moron! Come on, stop!
But these guys...
Hey, kid, you don't want to know what happens when you cross me. Seems the customer base has changed since I was here last.
This ain't a show. Get lost, kid. Damn brat! I'll sue!
What are you looking at? This country is filled with clueless children. I worry for Japan's... Let them go.
What a piece of shit. Wait! The same guy!
You're sure? Shido's the one who...
Holy shit!
Let's get going.
Shido's the guy who...
What kind of fate brought you two back together?
Talk about a destined connection. Shido was involved in the cognitive research too, right?
God, what the hell's going on here?
Shido was already a politician then. Yet he must have pulled some strings so that his name wouldn't be mentioned. Furthermore, he also would have had to force that woman into making a...
He would do anything. We're talking about a man who ordered a hit inside the police station.
He can't sit still until he crushes whoever opposes.
What a piece of sh... Children are the future, my ass! What'd he say?
But now that we found out who did it, can't something be done about his record?
Once the courts have made a judgment, it'd barely be possible even if proof of innocence is presented and...
At any rate, we need to trigger a change of heart in him.
Be that as it may, Shido's outer... It's beyond hypocritical. It's as if he's an entirely different person.
He speaks about the good of the country. It makes me wonder what really is on his mind.
That man's full of ambition. He only thinks of the weak as...
He treats himself as an elite man while looking down on others.
I assume the key word for what he believes the diet building is will be despicable too.
It must be something self-centered and...
Someone like him needs to be...
Let's head to the diet building again right after school tomorrow.
Stewing over it won't get anywhere.
Yeah. Hey! Hey!
All along, complacent while alone, without a clue, without a sign, without grasping it.
What do you want to do?
The real question to be asked: where have I been? I'm a sharpshooter.
Make sure your clothes up.
Hiding both face and mind.
Let me explain.
Yes! Alright.
Oh! Well then.
Security guards became suspicious of us last time, so we can't stay here for long.
But we still have no hit.
Think it's a barrier after all?
Where'd your enthusiasm from yesterday?
Ah, shut up. The real game starts at 2 outs.
Enough chatting.
The citizens are secondary. He only cares about his own well-being and...
He wants to become Prime Minister.
Fortune, rich people.
Hey, can you think of anything based on what you've heard from him? Just try saying anything. It doesn't matter if you guess.
Incompetent fools like you just need to shut your mouths and follow where I steer this country.
Steer? It was a match?
What? The Diet Building's a What kind of scenery will that be? The actual building's on land!
I can't even begin to imagine.
Well, whatever it is, looks like there are no...
Oh, shut up! Let's hurry up and go in.
Are we clear of the guard's sight?
Get closer to the wall, just... Alright. Do it.
Did anything change?
Security guards seem to be gone, but stiffness seems to be similar to what happened with...
But this time, the Diet build...
The gate wasn't open earlier, though.
Wait, look! Mona's appearance is different. That means we're definitely...
Come on.
How's it look over there? See anything?
Nah, it's totally normal.
I'll check it out. Huh?
What the heck?
What's up, Futaba? Futaba?
What is it?
The hell?
Huh?
Even though this country may sink, he alone will survive. That's what this cognition is about, huh?
This is bullshit! A country that children can be proud of my ass. If a guy like this stands above everyone...
This is...
The same goes for Akechi. He should have seen this scenery as well. Yet he still aided Shido.
What in the world is he thinking?
Whether it be for glory, or my father died because of someone like this. We gotta sink Shido instead of this... A palace with not just the center of the distortion, but the entire country sunken. I can't believe there's someone with this tremendous of a desire. Be careful. This will be completely different from past palaces.
We're definitely... All right!
We must put an end to this by December 17th, the day before the election.
Let the infiltration begin!
Wait.
Joker.
I'll just add this. I can feel it.
Indeed.
That's...
It looks like.
You're right. Listen up!
Focus.
opponent is strong. Don't do anything reckless.
Oh, is this a show of sorts? Mr. Shido never...
Indeed, those privileged enough to be...
What is with these people? Why do they not...
It seems they think no harm will come to them because they're here.
They're not even sensing the danger.
Hey! Look, a treasure chest! Why don't we crack it up?
I'll reveal your true form.
Now's our chance!
We're evenly matched here. Just don't let your guard down.
We got this! This is our best shot. On to the next!
Sona! Mitras! There!
Nice! Joker took one out!
Roger.
Baton pass! Nice!
Weak against nuclear attacks?
Persona! Goemon, strike!
You got him, Fox!
Everyone,
One
with
enemy
me!
hit the ground! They're done for!
And the curtain falls. Okay.
That was an easy win. Let's go, Joker.
Somewhere.
Joker! A treasure chest! Let's open it!
Show me your true form.
You've got the advantage. Don't rush this. Awaiting orders.
Show to remember. Take over, start to boogie down. Make over, nothing's gonna take away my life. Was over when it started with that.
Persona! No holds barred! Seems it can still fight!
Persona!
This is bad.
Persona!
Okay, let's move on!
All right.
That was fast. I'm getting sleepy with nothing to do.
It's somewhere. See it. Show me your true form.
This is our
Here
best
goes.
shot. On to the next.
Persona! You're mine.
Knocked him right off their feet. Nice, Joker.
Go!
Look at the time pass. Nice.
Let's go. Equivalent, strike!
You got him, Fox. One enemy hit the ground. Your power's incredible, Joker.
Okay. Somewhere. Show me your true form. Initiative is ours.
This enemy is beneath us. It should be easy if we stay focused.
Show to remember. Take over, start to put you down. Make over, nothing's gonna take away. My life was over when it started with that shoe that got wide. Walking, I'm getting things over. You actually thought that you can get away with skeletons in your closet. Don't think so. We're gonna reveal the truth up to the public. With your hands up, time to surrender. Take over, start to put it down. Make over, nothing's gonna fade away. My life was over when it started with that shoe that got wide. Walk up in eyes, things over.
I'll use my persona! Prepare yourself! For me.
Let's be civil about this. I suppose it's
Persona! Cerberus! You're mine.
Nice! Joker took one out!
It's time. Ravage them!
Enemies defeated! All right, Joker! Let's continue! Just like I thought.
All right. I have something. Show me your true form.
We've got the advantage.
Weak against nuclear attacks?
Persona!
You can go for its weak spot.
Ravage them!
Knocked him right off their feet. Nice, Joker.
Go ahead.
All right,
This is mine.
on to the next.
This is my other self.
Got their weakness. You're on a roll, Bob. Use my persona. Fire won't work. Johanna! That's one down. Go
No
get
sudden
down.
movement.
We're in disarray. Beat him up. Fist of justice.
Okay.
That was an easy win. Let's go.
I can feel it. I can feel it.
I found a chest. What do you want to do,
I
Joker?
can feel it. I can see it. I can feel it.
This is... Hey!
These huge doors are obviously...
There's slots to stick in something like a key card.
475 people in favor.
I hear some...
Since there is no one against the plan,
Past?
If this truly is the representatives' chamber as written, beyond
Though...
it's that large conference room that
Oh, that thing!
most likely a meaningless vote, one in which would
So he's doing whatever he wants by keeping...
What do we do to get in, though?
Maybe we need some kind of qualification. One that vows to be his...
So basically, we need to prove that...
You sure
But what's this qual...
Why don't we ask the guests on...
That thought never crossed...
Asking around doesn't sound like a bad... The guests here are the cognitive versions of them in Shido's mind.
True.
That said, the ruler here is that evil Shido. It wouldn't surprise...
Right.
We should prepare for the worst, of course. But this ship is most likely an ark loaded with those that Shido believes are worth keeping alive. It'd explain the luxury cruise ship. I doubt idiots who can't even hold a conversation.
We can at least. It helps that everyone's wearing masks.
He must believe that no one shows their true face to anyone else. Well then, let's... Well then.
Hey!
The effect of the cognitive world is weak here. There may be a safe room close by.
Focus.
Indeed.
Well then.
Well,
Whoa! Joker!
Still, this is a surprise. The casino earlier looked pretty real too. But talking with
you have that right.
this ruler's observational skills and insight are off the charts.
Come on, no need.
I'm not freaking out. I was just thinking it'll... Alright. Let's put together the information we gathered.
Huh. Gotcha.
You're right. It seems...
Please hear me out.
Hey, listen! Listen up!
It's no use.
I can only remember about 2 of them. Oh dear lord. We're up against 5 people. The politician Owe, a former noble, a TV station president, an IT company president, and a cleaner. We get certification from them and obtain letters of introduction that'll serve as key, but only go for the cleaner after the other 4 have been dealt with, right? Whoa, now that's impressive! You go, genius!
If we can't remember the details on the VIPs, let's reconvene inside us. Alright, let's get... Hey! Well...
Let's do it.